everyone. Welcome to another episode of her Expat Life YouTube channel. My name is Mara. I'm currently the COO of her Expat Life, and I will be your host today. As you probably already know, her Expat Life is a global mobility firm that helps women around the globe with advancing their global lifestyle, network, and portfolio. And I'm delighted to introduce all of you to Naomi from our partner Entre Trámites, who is an immigration specialist lawyer. As today we will be talking about the student visa, the work visa, and in general all the types of visas that you will need to pursue if you want a temporary or permanent residency in Spain. Welcome, Naomi. Can you please introduce yourself with a little bit more detail?
Yes, hello. Thank you. As you already told, I'm Naomi Botero. I'm immigration specialist at Entre Trámites. Currently, at Entre Trámites, we help anyone interested in obtaining their residence permit in Spain, so we can help you with all the process that you need.
Perfect. That's fantastic. So let's start probably with the easiest path forward. Yeah. So let's say you're a student currently, and you are finishing your studies, and you probably want to know, what you can do. You're staying in Spain, and you are thinking about what are the next steps.
Yeah, there's some options that the person can have to be able to stay in Spain after finishing their studies. The most easy one is the work permit. But to be able to modify to this type of permit, you need to have a job offer. It's very important because if you don't have, you cannot modify. Also, it's very important that you have finished your studies because it's mandatory that you provide a letter or the diploma that you finished. Also, it's very important that you do the application before your current permit, your study permit expires. Because if you do it after, you may get a fine or a sanction, or you can be probably denied the permit. So for this modification, it's very important that the company that offers you a job meets the requirements the administration asks for.
It's great. So, what if you wanted to continue studying then?
You can all have that option too. If you want, you can renew. It's very important that if you haven't finished the studies, you renew. You need to prove to the administration that from the last year you meet all the requirements from the studies. And if you're going to change to another type of studies, you need to do it before your T expires. We always recommend that the studies are related, just to prove the administration that everything is going in the same way. And yeah, it's very important that you do the modification, the renewal, sorry, before the TA expires, the TIE.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for that valuable information. Let's dive a little bit more into it. So, let's say you said that if you wanted to finish your studies and start working, you would need a job. So, what are the key characteristics of the job contract that you must meet to be eligible for a visa?
Yeah, it's very important that the contract needs to be valid for at least a year. Also, the contract must specify the employee when the employment begins, and that this is only then the worker can only start working after the residence authorization is granted. This is very important. This is a clause that it has to be included in the contract because this is one of the requirements the administration always look. Also, the salary, the wage must be in line with the applicable collective agreement, or at least the interprofessional minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
So this, depending on the year, this can change. So it's very important that your employer knows that he needs to pay you at least the minimum wage. And also the legitimacy of the contract. The contract must be genuine, in line with the employer economic activity, and fulfill legal labor standards. If this is not met, the employer can be fined and your permit is going to be denied.
Mm-hmm. It's very important to know that. So, are there any restrictions then on the type of employer or job that can be used?
Yes. First, the employer must be legally established in Spain. Also, it needs to be compliant with tax and social security obligations. Also, the job role must be within the context of the employer operations. So, if he's depending on the type of company, the job offer needs to be with something related to the activity of the company. Also, there is no limit on the sector. So, it's very important that the job is related with the studies, just to
Mm-hmm.
avoid any type of complication with the permit. It's very important to remember that false or fraudulent job offers are strictly penalized.
Mm-hmm. It's good to know. So we have a lot of freelancers in our network. So maybe someone is thinking about working part time and then doing freelancing on their rest of their hours. Can they do that, or they have to work full time for the visa permit if they need to obtain it that way?
What we always recommend is that if you are a freelance, there's options for freelance of the as the self-employed permit, so you can have a lot of clients with freelance contracts, and it's not going to be a problem. But that's another type of permit. So if you can do it, you for this type of permit, you will need to first do a business plan explaining the job that you're going to be doing, your potential clients, and how many of those clients you have. If you choose that option, you also will need to register in Spain as a self-employed, and you can have as many clients as you want. But if you have a job offer, a part-time job offer, and you want to go for a work